Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going to dive into Bitcoin, big up the CoinsKid group. So what we're looking as a confirmation to the bottom being in is a break of this green trend line in the DXY just here. And I've gone through this with you before. It's something that if we do see that, it's a really, really bullish statement going forward for crypto, okay? And obviously anything can happen. This can keep going vertical, but at the minute you are a little bit overextended, okay? I don't think you've back tested this 20 EMA on the weekly time frame since way back there in January of this year, okay? So you're really overextended. You're going vertical here. And I think on the weekly time frame, we have got a bearish divergence that we're printing just there as well, okay? So we've got this whopping bearish divergence in the overbought trajectory, so there is a possibility that this is going to cool off a little bit and start to come in. So this could add a bit of confidence to the fact that we might see a couple of green weeks here in September and begin to look at some kind of retracement. So on the daily time frame here, we have got a hanging man candle. Again, look, we come up in these waves, up and down, up and down. This is how it all works, okay? And just there you can see you've not back tested the 20 since you broke out just there, so potentially a little bit overcooked. Start to come in for this retracement, given this candle here, could be an indication that Bitcoin off the bottom as well right now. It's trying to carve out that bottom. Bitcoin and crypto could be looking at some kind of breakout over the next couple of weeks here, and this could be an indication of that. That's what I'm trying to convey to you, okay? So we're looking at some kind of retracement for the DXY, which would indicate a bit of upside for crypto, so we'll keep an eye on that. But one thing we're looking at as a confirmation break, okay, and a confirmation of the bottom, is this starting to lose this green trend line. If it starts to come down and loses that, I would imagine you're beginning a deeper retracement here, which is still healthy for the DXY, but you would be breaking the parabola, which could indicate that the bottom is actually in, and you're looking at some kind of massive sort of surge and pump into 2023 for these crypto markets right here for the DXY. But rest assured, I do still think that the DXY is really bullish long term, okay, because you've broken out of a falling wedge, and I've shown you this before, breaking into resistance, coming back for support, holding that support, so you're getting a confirmation break of resistance, and right now you're beginning to retrace to this high here, this point of contact. Like I said to you, when you break wedges, your resistance points are the contacts, okay? So right now it looks as though you're trying to get up to the 1 fib, which is around about 121. If you start to see that broken, you're up down to 1272. But don't forget, this moves, everything moves up and down in waves. I've taught you that, okay? So when this starts to retrace to a support for the continuation, this is bullish. Now, one thing you can say here is that you've got the 20 EMA on the monthly, where you're going parabolic, okay? You're going parabolic here on the DXY. Now, you've got the key resistance on 786. This is the month, the yearly candles, okay? The 12-month candles. So it doesn't mean that Bitcoin's going to do something like that, but at this point, if this starts to run into this resistance and wicks above the 786, you can see how it wicked above the 702 fib there before putting in a yearly retracement. You got another wick above the golden ratio before another yearly retracement, and at that point, if this does start to wick above and we have sort of a retracement down here back to the 20, which is healthy, normal for this chart to do that, that particular scenario, that retracement could pave way to that massive sort of surge in that 2023 melt up that I'm looking at for the crypto markets right here, okay? So a bit of confluence that this chart is sort of giving us a looking glass to that particular scenario playing out for crypto. So let's dive into Bitcoin right now, okay? So looking at Bitcoin on the hourly time frame, then you can see, I think we opened a long trade the other day on BitGet, okay, down here, and we obviously put a stop on this low. Right now, I've moved my stop up to that low, and then I've moved my stop up to this low, and right now, I've still got it on this low because obviously we're retracing here. Now, if Bitcoin holds this low, you could say what we're doing, coiling up here for a breakout to the upside, okay? So where would we be looking at Bitcoin going if it was to break out? So I'm going to show you all the levels that I'm looking at. So if we start to zoom out on the daily time frame just here for Bitcoin, you can see that this yellow line just there, this is a really, really key low. This is a July 13th low. And like I said to you, if you do start to come down and you retrace any deeper than that particular low right there, that could be a warning sign here that, Bitcoin is in trouble, and, come Q4 of this year, we could be looking at losing these lows that we're putting down here for Bitcoin. But Bitcoin at the moment is doing everything it needs to say it's bottomed. There's lots and lots of indicators stacking up down here telling us that the bottom's in. Now, as a retracement level, if we do start to look at some kind of retracement here for Bitcoin, there is a major level of resistance here that I'm going to show you as a potential short scenario, basically. That if we start to come up and we break this resistance, this red trend line here and this key level of resistance could be a really, really good area to take any profit if you're in a long from this low, or you're building your longs down here and you start to come up. This could be a really, really strong area of resistance going forward over the next couple of months here, where Bitcoin could actually run into that and then roll again in a final last leg of this particular downtrend that it's in, and this C leg that I potentially think that you're in as well. So I'm looking for the completion and the end of this C leg. I'm trying my best. But if we take a look at this retracement here, let me drop this ABC just there, okay? So like I said to you, I think we've got an ABC correction. We're coming down in C leg that's potentially done. If not, come up into resistance, and we've got one last leg left towards this blue line, which would have to hold for any sort of short-term bullish macro outbreak here for Bitcoin, okay? So if we take a look at this retracement here, this was your high in November. You came down and you retraced, okay? A lot of people say this is some kind of bear flag, and we was anticipating the breakdown, boom, and we come down, okay? So at that point, you run into that resistance, and when you come down, you put in this huge dump. So potentially it's some kind of wave 4 where you're coming up into resistance again, because this could be some kind of wave 1, this is an ABC wave 2, this is wave 3, this is an ABC wave 4, and then we dump again towards Q1 of the Q4, sorry, and towards Q4, Q1 of next year, basically, for Bitcoin. It's a possible scenario. Is it absolutely going to play out? I can't tell you. It's all about this low, okay? If you start to see Bitcoin break this green line here, which is key resistance, and this red line, if it starts to come up and break out here and starts to come up, boom, you're confirming that your correction's in and you're moving upstairs impulsively off this low right here. But obviously it's a possible scenario where you dump again, and that's it, okay? That low has to hold at a retracement to the 2019 high, because that's your wave 1 high, in my opinion, before a final 5th wave, okay? But the 5th wave could have started here, you know? But anyway, aside from that, what we're looking at is the retracement level. So if we go from that low just there to this high, okay, so here's your impulsive push, and what happened was you had a retracement all the way back up to this high, and you can see you found resistance on the 050 fib, which is synonymous with a dead cat bounce. Boom, resistance met, boom, rolled, okay? And then we're putting another impulsive move and wave to the downside. So like I said to you at the time, you've got similarities between this wave and this wave right there, and here we was expecting a huge dump, because a lot of indicators were telling us that, and equally what you were doing, you was printing a very similar structure to there. Look at that, you've got that leg A, B, C, you've got that leg A, B, C, boom, dump, okay? So, and it came, and it was really fruitful, okay? Really massive short that we played, and beautiful. But anyway, aside from that, what we're doing right now simply is retracing to this high, okay? So this is why, if you take a look, this is why I've got that level of resistance there, because if this plays out again like this leg here, this wave 2, and this is some kind of wave 4, then this is where you're going to run into resistance. Now if we break it and start to break this resistance and start to come back up through these fibs there, you're getting a large retracement to that high, and if you break that high, the 1 fib, you're confirming here that this is your bottom. Not only that, there's going to be so many things here that are going to confirm that the bottom, okay, with the DXY breaking down as well, and other signals that I'm looking for in the charts, like, you know, for example, getting back into the 5-day Gaussian. Let me show you right now. So these are all the things that are in front of us, okay? And if we start to see them, they're going to confirm that this is the bottom. And this is what I'm looking at as confirmation statements going forward. And like I said to you, if you don't want to catch a falling knife, or you don't necessarily want to time the bottom, these particular scenarios that are going to play out eventually are going to confirm the bottom, and they could be your entry points, okay? So right now, if Bitcoin does start to come up and retraces through all these levels here, and we don't necessarily look at this big dump, and, you know, the DXY is showing that it's retracing to a long level of support, and we start to see a beautiful retracement here for Bitcoin. If we start to come up here and we take out the 050 fib, okay, and we start to get through the golden ratio and things like that, you can see you're breaking this red trend line, which equally is a very bullish statement. And equally, if we start to come back up and get back in the 5-day Gaussian channel, whenever you've done that after a level of capitulation, which we was expecting here as a community, because we got that close below the 5-day Gaussian, like at that point there, I said to you, historically, whenever Bitcoin does that, you capitulate, and we've got that, okay, and we've rode it together. But at that point, you know, history tells us that right now 7 data points is now 8 that this is the low. And if we start to come back up and we do what history's done before, you know, and get back in this Gaussian, it's a very bullish statement. So, you know, you could just wait for that scenario to play out before, you know, gambling or potentially trying to catch a falling knife, or, you know, like they say, those that pick bombs get smelly fingers. Just wait for the bullish scenarios to play out, because they're not much higher than the levels that we're at right now, okay? And this is something I'm trying to say to you. So if we see the DXY breaking down and the Bitcoin coming back up and breaking into the 5-day Gaussian channel, amazing. So you understand that update, okay? Now all of this, everything I'm talking about right now, is tradable. So, you know, a really good trade, in my opinion, right now for you is that this is a data driven low. This is one of the magnificent seven signals here, is this low. So again, you could open along at this position to ride this potential green weeks ahead as a retracement coming up to these levels here, this could be a really, really tight stop loss for you down here. Let me show you. So right now, that's a stop loss, $18,942. In fact, let me get your knob on for you. I need to give you a knob on because it's the bottom of this wick, because you will be invalidating a very bullish statement here from Bitcoin. Now, this is one of the 7 indicators that's told us that the bottom's in, okay? So that particular level is, let me get that for you right now, is 18,901. You could just go long, build long positions at this point for some kind of breakout up to into resistance, which would be normal because you're retracing, okay? That's normal, remember? And you could have your spot long, you could have your support, your stop loss down there on 18,901. Now, you can do all this on Bybit. The link is in each and every single video description. You can use BitGet, Bybit, whatever you want. They're both fantastic platforms. Take care, everyone. Wish everyone the utmost luck, okay? Back soon with an update on Bitcoin. Stay off, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye-bye.